Hi, on today's episode, we have an amazing content creator and the founder of Epiphany Clothing Africa. Ladies and gents, Sharon Mwangi.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to get into it because
okay.
I'm just like, how much time do we have? My mom had me when she was very young. I wouldn't even say that I'm religious. Actually, I really dislike religion. Okay, makes sense. This is good. I like it here. So my first ever job was at the.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
You're looking lovely.
Thank you. So are you?
Thank you. Curious, what did you have for breakfast today?
I have actually not eaten today. I'm
Why?
fasting. Yeah, I don't know if you're not supposed to actually tell people when you're fasting, but
Oh,
you
like
asked me, so I had to tell you.
like fasting for
Spiritual
okay.
reasons, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Okay.
My controls are coming off.
But they're very, very neat.
Thank
I
you.
love them.
Yeah, my hair has no ends, so
So it's thick from root to tip?
yeah, but like I cut my split ends, so yeah. What did you have for breakfast?
But did I had ugali and chicken.
Really? Oh, I love ugali. I love ugali, but actually ugali is my favorite meal.
With ugali with.
Ugali, everyone knows this because I scream about it all the time. Ugali, beef stew, skuma, and avocado. If either of those is missing from the equation,
No, it doesn't make
it
sense.
doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Everything has to be there. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, but I don't know about like ugali for breakfast. You don't shiba too much.
I do. I actually had lunch as well.
Really?
Does that mean I eat too much
No, no,
or?
no. Like, I guess it's me, but like if I eat ugali for breakfast, hakuna kitu nafanya am I allowed to speak
No.
Swahili? I
Yes,
don't
yes,
know.
yes, yes.
I can't do anything for the rest of my day. Like I'm so sleepy, I'm so full.
But I had
Yeah.
an early day today.
Okay.
So
You
I
needed
don't
the
know if
energy.
that warrants ugali, but
Yeah.
it was very early.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you just needed the energy. Yeah.
So, do you wear wigs
No, I don't.
at all? At all?
Not recently. I used to. I actually have a wig from you guys. Um, my one and only wig.
Nice.
That's like actually
Oh,
functional.
the bob.
The
It's a
bob.
bob. Yes,
I
I
have the
remember.
bob, and I have some other wigs, but like they've just been placed somewhere. So I don't even know the state if they are wearable right now. Yeah.
Is there a reason why you don't wear wig as much?
I mostly just like my own hair out, and then if I need like some extra length, then I do weaves and things like that. I don't have a reason specifically. Honestly, my reason is so petty. I feel hot when I
Same.
wear wigs. I
That's
feel hot, so
that's not
that's just
petty. It's
my
actually
thing.
very, very true.
Yeah, I just feel hot. Yeah,
But when you decide to wear a wig, what's your ideal wig?
I do like bobs. Back in the day, I really liked bobs, but now my hair is the length of a bob. So now I'm liking more longer styles because I can't achieve that with my own
With
hair.
your own hair.
Yeah.
How long would you say you're comfortable with?
Oh, you can go
Like a bust down?
bust down like as long as it need to be. Yeah.
Nice. So what we're doing today is it's not super long. At least it's longer than your hair
Yeah.
for me. Yeah. Well, it's a mid length.
Okay.
What do you think?
Cute. Very cute.
Where would you wear this to?
Um, you know what? I don't know. Where would I wear this to? I remember the last time I even had a wig on. So I don't know. I like it though. It's cute. Although I've been trying to like experiment with color. So where would I wear it to? I feel like it's very well put together. It's giving very clean girl, which is what I like. So even just like day to day, I would wear this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So who is Sharon? How would you describe yourself to someone who doesn't know you?
Interesting. I'm really trying lately to describe myself without saying what I do because I'm so many other things outside of my work. But yeah, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister to one. I really prayed for God to give me a sister, but He gave me a brother who I love, but a sister would have been great. To add on to him. What else? I'm a friend. I am also a content creator, so I've been creating content for about 10 years now. And then I run a made in Kenya fashion brand called Epiphany Clothing. I also am a podcast host. So I have a faith-based podcast called the Best Kept Secrets Podcast. And yeah, what else? I'm also a lover of Christ. Another thing that I'm really trying to do is be one of those people, like those aunties who used to say nimeokoka na napenda Bwana when they introduce themselves at functions. I'm trying to be like them. Like I understand them now. Like back in the day when I was younger, I used to think they're so extra. Must you tell us how umeokoka and you love Jesus? But now I get it. Like now I get it. So yeah, that's basically Sharon.
How was your childhood, like your upbringing?
Yeah.
How was that?
So my childhood was complicated in some ways just because my mom had me when she was very young. She was pregnant at 19, gave birth when she was 20. So you can imagine growing up with a mom that's very young and is also trying to figure out life. We kind of grew up together, which was like fun in some ways because it's always nice to have a young mom, but also complicated in other ways. But other than that, I think my childhood was, honestly, I was a very confident child. I was very vibrant. So I had lots of fun in my childhood. And of course, just like everyone else, I have the usual childhood trauma that I'm still trying to process as an adult and still love on my inner little girl. But yeah, that's basically how my childhood was.
What are some
Yeah.
of these traumas, if you don't mind sharing? Just like one.
Oh my God. It's just like that, what I'm saying about like the fact that my mom was young. And let me just state it, just because my mom watches like all my interviews, all the podcasts. Like I love my mom. Like my mom is my rock. She's my everything. I admire her so much, but I also hold space for the fact that because she was young, she did make a lot of mistakes, just like any parent would. So yeah, it's just like I think about it and I think if I was pregnant at 19 and gave birth at 20, what kind of mom would I have been? Probably I would have made a lot more mistakes than she did. But I also am learning to hold space for the fact that yes, I empathize with her and my parents, but I also need to empathize with myself and being a child who had trauma. So, what are some of the childhood traumas? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I want to get into it
It's
because I'm
okay.
just like, how much time do we have? How much time? Yeah, but you can just based off of that, just imagine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, growing up, did you? I know content creation was not a thing at
Oh
that
yeah, it
time.
wasn't.
So,
Yeah.
content creation was the first thing you ever did, or
No, so I had a 9 to 5 for a year, and I was like, never again.
why?
Goodbye, I'm out. So I think God, like even before I had a proper relationship with God, when I look back, I can see that His hand was always on me because I had so much favor that I got a job even before I graduated. So my first ever job was at the Nation, and I used to have a column on Sunday. So I don't know if right now it exists, but there used to be a pull-out section on Sunday Nation called the Buzz.
I remember.
So I used to write on the Buzz. Was it called on the Buzz or just Buzz? The Buzz or Buzz? I think Buzz. So I had a fashion column where I used to write fashion content on there, and they scouted me from when I was still in uni. So they found my blog. I had a blog back in the day. when I was in my 3rd year of uni. They hired me. You know, it wasn't a lot of money, but I was a uni student making money. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have to ask my mom or my dad for money. I mean, I still did, let's be honest. I still asked for money, but I had some money for myself. And then right while I was still in uni, when now in my last year, I think actually the last semester of school, I got another job, and they also scouted me from social media. So they called me and they were like, we have this opening at this place at an agency. So we want you to come on board and run social media for Kenya Airways. So at the time I was like, that's crazy. I didn't even know people were looking at what I'm doing online. So at the time, content creation wasn't like a big thing. We were creating content, but mostly like a lot of us had blogs. When people used to read things, now they prefer to watch things. So yeah, they found me, they hired me. I started before I had even graduated. So I was commuting every day from, work to
school.
school, just trying to balance both. Somehow, because the exams are not necessarily back to back and every day I managed. So yeah, I think definitely I still had God's favor back in the day. And then I did that for 1 year and I was just like, oh my God, like, oh, this is not for me. I hated it. Like, hate is an understatement.
You
Like,
hate working?
no, like I mean, then I feel like I just like being in control of my time, but also the work culture there. I like anyone who's ever worked in an agency will tell you, well, work-life balance is
It's not a thing.
non-existent. So I was just like really frustrated. The work culture wasn't great. The people were great, but the culture wasn't great. So after a year, I resigned, and I never looked back.
So after you handed in your resignation,
Yeah,
did you have a plan in place?
yeah.
Like, I'm leaving this
To
to
go and
start
do
this.
this. Yeah, so obviously we make plans, God laughs. But yes, I did have a plan. So my plan was to quit and go into fashion full time. So I considered going to fashion school, I looked for scholarships to go to fashion school abroad, just because I really loved fashion and I really knew that I wanted to work in some way in fashion. And then I was gonna start my own fashion business. So this like Epiphany has been, I don't know how many years coming, because this is like 2018, right? So that was the plan. And then lucky for me, or rather not lucky, let me just be honest, because of God, that other job that I had at Nation, they doubled my salary just out of the blue. Just, I had been praying to God for confirmation about whether I should resign or not. So I told him, God, like, if you need me out of this place, if you want to transition me to something else, just like give me a sign, just tell me what to do. And the people at Nation called me and they were like, yeah, we've actually realized, we looked at your contract and we've been grossly like underpaying you. So they doubled my salary. So I had enough money to quit. So I quit. I had at least that new salary. And I looked for scholarships. I couldn't find any. My parents were also not capable at the time to take me abroad to fashion school. So I just started like, doing two side hustles. I imported some clothes. I sold to like my small following that I had at the time. But, I didn't know anything about running a business. Like I wasn't even, like everything was on paper. I actually found my notebook where I was writing everything. I just had a pen and paper and I used to write all my expenses. I do the math there. And obviously that didn't last too long. And then somehow content just started like doing a lot better. And then I focused on that while still trying to figure out now the fashion side of things. Yeah.
So were you doing content creation at the same time working at Nation?
Yeah, I was doing both of them hand in hand. Also, content creation wasn't paying me at the time. So I needed something else to, at least give me some sort of money. So I got my first ever client, like content creation client, also while I was still in uni. It wasn't a lot of money, again, but you know, as a uni student, as long as you're making some sort of income, it's you know, it's great. So yeah, I still continued doing content creation while still working at Nation, while still in the back end of things, trying to figure out, okay, what more can I do in terms of business wise and entrepreneurship and all of that. Yeah.
So, when you said content creation started working out for you,
Yeah.
at what point did you realize that you can actually do content creation full time?
You know, when I quit that job and then the business I tried, it didn't work out, so I stopped doing it. I think at that point I was just like, okay, let me just like give my all to content. I am seeing some benefits. I am seeing some small money coming here and there. Again, lucky for me, because I was living with my parents, I didn't have much, like a lot of expenses, a lot of that. A lot of the money that I was making was to, you know, just like fund my lifestyle. But I didn't have bills to pay or anything like that, which is such a luxury that I see that it's a privilege and a luxury that not a lot of people have. So I think when I just quit the job and the business didn't work out, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely just gonna give my all to content and see where it takes me. Also because when I worked in agency, I did influencer management. So a lot of people don't know is that I was on the back end of things in terms of content before I fully became a content creator. So I did influencer management for some campaigns and all of that. So I knew, I could see how much bigger creators, people with a lot more following at the time, how much they were making. And I was like, yo, I need to up my content game. If people out there, and then at the time what was happening is that I don't know if there was space necessarily for content creators. It was more of the celebrities that were being approached by brands. So like if you're a music, if you're an artist or if you're an actor or if you're a comedian, those were the guys who are making money. Us guys with like 10K followers, 15K, we weren't making money as much as they were. So I was like, okay, as much as we're not making as much money right now, I felt like there was space. I think I had like vision, like I saw the vision. I saw that this could make me more money if it's making these guys money right now. So I just stuck to it.
And then in your early days, did you decide on the content you're going to put out there, or you were
Yeah.
just being Sharon?
I started off as a fashion creator because I had a fashion blog. So even when I transitioned into now like YouTube and all of that, I was mostly doing fashion. But I would ever so often do lifestyle. So I think as time went by, I also became more interested in other things. So I started being interested in makeup and in hair and all of these things and beauty and skincare. So I just became a lifestyle creator, not just a fashion creator. So you don't have to have it figured out in the beginning. Sometimes you just like evolve. As you grow, things just come up, new interests come up, and yeah, the content starts to make more sense. Yeah.
At what point in your content creation journey it clicked for you that this is it? It's actually making sense.
I don't know if I've ever had a single moment where I was like, okay, this is making sense. Obviously, the bigger the checks have been getting, the more I'm like, okay, makes sense. This is good. I like it here. But also for me, more than anything, I think I'm really after impact because I don't think it's a coincidence that I have all of these like people, like over 200,000 people following me and are keen on what I have to say, and they look at me and look at my platform So I think I've become more aware of the impact that I have, and I've been trying to be more impactful even with the content that I create. And that's why the podcast came in, because I was like, when I die and I go to heaven and God asks me, okay, I gave you 200,000 people. 200,000 people can fill a stadium. I gave you 200,000 people. They were on your page and they were looking at you. What did you do with it? Like, do I just want to say that I just sold some products and I just did some things, and I'm not discounting that that's important, because I think even for us as influencers, I've seen the impact we've had even like on small businesses, and how, we help small businesses like make, money and put food on people's tables and pay people's salaries, and even for bigger brands as well. Like, there are a lot of mouths that are being fed. There are a lot of families depending on these brands. So that is impactful in its way. But above that, I think about, okay, so I have all of these people following me. What can I do with it? So, yeah, I've kind of digressed there, but
It's okay.
yeah.
So, speaking of your podcast, have you always been religious from like growing up,
Yeah.
or is it something you picked up as you grew?
So I wouldn't even say that I'm religious. Actually, I really dislike religion. I
Why?
think religion brings about a lot of wars, a lot of turmoil in the world, a lot of hate, not just Christianity, but even other religions. So I'm not a fan of religion. I am a fan of relationship with God and with Christ. And when I say God, I mean Jesus Christ. So no, I haven't always had a relationship with Christ, or rather I haven't always been Christian. Because yes, if you were to place me religion-wise, you'd place me in Christianity, but that's a whole other story. So no, I haven't. My parents took me to church. I loved Sunday school. I did what I could do. I attended all the DVBSs and all the Christmas whatever's. Like, I did everything, right? This relationship with Christ and it getting to where it's gotten has come as now as an adult. I went through some mental health struggles when I came out of uni. And I don't say this lightly, God is the one who saved me and helped me through that. At the time, therapy wasn't a thing. It wasn't as accessible. I didn't even have like full understanding and full knowledge of what I was going through. I just knew I was very sad. And then I was like, okay, maybe this is depression. But now looking back, it definitely was. And God came and personally rescued me and personally healed me and helped me. And also, just to put a caveat, I'm not telling anyone to not go to therapy. I'm not telling anyone to not take medicine. Please do all of those things. I personally go to therapy like almost every other week. So do those things. But God personally came and, took me out of that dark place that I was in. And we've been building this relationship for 8 years now. It's not always been strong. I've been the drama many times. But yeah, he gives me grace. He loves me, forgives me. But I'm also trying to be a good child and, do what I can. But even then, you can never do anything to please God. It's just like, yeah, I mean, yeah, try, and God be like, cute, love that you're trying. But it's just God's grace. I'm just a girl who is just surviving on God's grace. Yeah.
So, is it podcast that came first or Epiphany?
Epiphany came first. So Epiphany has been here since 2021. So we are now going into our 4th year.
No.
So Epiphany came 2021, and then podcast came 2023. So podcast 2 years, Epiphany 4 years. Yeah.
So, take me through the journey of Epiphany. How did you? I know you said from Kitambo you wanted
Yeah.
to do fashion.
I did, yes.
So, how was Epiphany birthed?
Yeah. So again, like, I'm a fashion girl, like through and through. I love fashion so much. When I was a child, like, my mom used to buy me clothes and I would cut them and remove one hand and try to wear it with only one hand, or make it a crop top when it's supposed to be a full top. And, I was always trying to shona things and, put things together. So I've always loved fashion. And even when I wouldn't always feel confident, I knew no one is going to beat my outfit. Like, that's it. Like, you're not beating my outfit. So fashion definitely added confidence for me. So Epiphany, I just always knew that I was going to somehow do something in fashion. So I started the business. Now when I quit that job, it wasn't called Epiphany then, it was just a fashion business. Obviously didn't work out, closed it, tried again, and then didn't work out.
What year
Closed
was
it.
that?
So this was like, when was the second try? Actually, the second try, my mom even gave me some money. Again, I understand that this is a privilege that I have, and shout out to my mom for giving me the money she gave me. So she was just like, okay, I see the vision. I know you've always loved fashion. Here's some money. Go and figure out the business. Of course, I ate the money. Sorry, mom. I ate the money. And then she always says that I ate it, me and that boyfriend of mine that I had at that time. But he wasn't involved. He's just like he's been framed, but really it was just me who ate the money. So yeah, I didn't end up even actually importing the things and doing the things that I told I was going to do. I just ate the money. And then now the third time that I attempted to do it, I was like, okay, now this time I need to be serious. And now this time I actually need to, I can't just be messing around anymore. I can't just eat money anymore. So I collaborated with Zia. I don't know if you guys know Zia. You must know Zia. So Zia and I went to uni together. So it just made sense because they were looking to collaborate with a content creator. I was looking to collaborate with a Made in Kenya brand, because a fashion brand, because I wanted to understand the inner workings of a fashion business. So we worked on her first ever Made in Kenya collection together. And then because of that, I was now able to get information. We kind of took this journey together because she was also learning. Before she was just importing things. So we collaborated. I took her away a lot. Honestly, I thank her a lot. I think she was very instrumental in Epiphany being birthed. And then yeah, so I sourced the fabric. I put everything together. I had set some money aside from my content stuff. I used that as my capital to start. And then I started, and now it's going to be 4 years in September. And yeah, that's how Epiphany started.
How has been the journey?
Oh, Maga. Tough. Tough. People talk about character development for relationships. You've not seen character development for entrepreneurship. The things we go through, it's so hard. But also, I think the fashion industry in Kenya lacks a lot of structure, a lot of policies, even in terms of importing, the fees on those things are so high. There's a monopoly in terms of fabrics and where you can get them. It's only Isili. Okay, mostly Isili. Maybe they control 90% of that. So it definitely has its challenges. I think, compared to South Africans and Nigerians, we're still lagging behind. Even Rwanda, the policies in Rwanda are a lot better and more favorable for fashionpreneurs. So just because of that, it's been tough. Also, Kenyan women are also hard to sell to because they're picky. Us guys are so picky. I don't want to show my arms. I don't want to show my stomach. I don't want to show my back. And even me, I have those things. For me, it's very hard for you to ever see my back anywhere. You're more likely to see something else.
But not the back.
But not my back. So it's just trying to understand our market, trying to understand our consumer, trying to understand who exactly we're selling to. But I think recently we've been understanding that more and more. Actually, my biggest challenge right now, I would just say, is finding balance, because I'm just doing one too many things, and Epiphany sometimes suffers because of that. So yeah, that's my current challenge. But other than that, it's actually been a very beautiful journey. I've learned a lot and I've grown a lot as a person. Yeah.
So what is the process that goes into like design or a collection
Yeah.
that you put out?
So again, like I'm a one-man show, and I think that's why it's not one-man show really, but I handle a lot. So, and I think that's why maybe I struggle sometimes. So I source fabric myself. I come up with designs myself as well. And then I have a designer that I work with. So she's the one who does the sketches, the patterns. So once I decide the design that I want, she sketches it out, she does a pattern, and then we go ahead and buy fabric. And then once the fabric is done, we do grading, we do a sample. No, we do a sample. If I like it, then it goes into production. If I don't like it, then I just keep the sample for myself. I like to wear my samples out sometimes, you know, even like wash it, feel how like will the fabric fade? How does it wear on your body and all of that? Also, when I wear it and I get feedback from people when they see me wearing it, it helps me understand how the market will receive it. So sometimes I can wear a sample and you know, even my friends are like, where's the dress from? Where's the something from? I know this is going to be a hit. So yeah, once I've approved samples, we now do grading. We do patterns, and then now we go ahead and into production. But my favorite part is post-production, because post-production is now where we create the content that now you see on our social. So we have a shoot. I love shoots because I think my strong point is creative direction. So I'm also the obviously creative director. So just coming up with like the concept of the shoot, the campaign, what it's going to look like, the music we'll use, the kind of vibe, where it's going to be shot, like that's my favorite part of the creation process of a collection. Yeah, that's basically start to finish. So once we shoot, we post, put it on the website, and then it's up for grabs. Yeah.
Do you have like a design that you created and people really, really loved it?
Yeah, so we have a maxi. Again, Kenyan women love maxis. I would have never known this if I never worked in, like, if I never had a fashion brand. I would have assumed other things. Kenyan women love maxis. Or, I don't know, or maxis love us. I don't know. So we have a maxi called the Angel Maxi. That has been a hit. We have sold and sold. We have restocked and restocked. We've created multiple colors. I think we've done one print, two colors so far. I don't know how many. We've sold hundreds, hundreds of that dress. So that's been a hit. We've made a mini version of it as well that people also loved, but can never compare to that maxi. People love it so much. Yeah, even till today, they're always like, please, just one last restock. I'm like, guys, please, we've been selling this thing for like almost 2 years. So we need to come up with some new things. Yeah.
I know you mentioned monopoly in terms of fabric and we do not have diversity.
Yeah.
So what makes you as Epiphany stand
Yeah.
out in an industry where we have
Yeah.
so many people doing almost the same
The
thing?
same thing. Yeah, so I think for us it's more about the designs, because you know we can have the same fabric, but the design that I create out of it and the design you create from it is going to be absolutely different. I think our strong point as well is that all of our clothes, especially in our last couple of collections, are very feminine. So you know when you come to Epiphany that you're getting something girly, something that is going to make you feel as feminine as possible, very cutesy, very demure, as people say, and you're not guaranteed that with everyone else. I think people right now even know what to expect from us. I think if we were ever to bring something that goes against the femininity, modest, they'll just be like, what's this? This is not Epiphany at all. So yeah, I think as much as the fabrics are similar and all of that, there's still a lot of things that we do differently. Yeah.
And what has been your proudest moment running Epiphany?
Oh, proudest moment. I think I've had multiple proud moments. But anytime we sell out anything in a day, I'm like, what? You guys are serious. Sometimes we even sell out things in like 2-3 hours. And at that point, I've even like doubled the amount that we usually create. And I'm like, okay, this time we have enough. And the girls still sell it out in like, very quickly. And I don't think that's something that everyone has. And I'm so grateful for all the girls who believe in us, all the girls who love our items, and who, people are usually on our case. Like when we say we're dropping this thing tomorrow at midday, if tomorrow at midday that thing is not up, people are just like, where's the dress? I need to buy this dress. Definitely that's a proud moment. I think my friend calls it the Kylie Jenner effect. Like if you have a Kylie Jenner effect, I think you can sometimes take it for granted, but I really appreciate that we have people in the Epiphany community, the babes, who just believe in our brand that much and love our items that much. Another proud moment is anytime I see anyone wearing our items. Like if I just go to a wedding and I see someone wearing Epiphany, sometimes even I could literally just be somewhere random and I see someone walking and they're wearing Epiphany. It's just like, oh my gosh, like you're wearing my brand. You're wearing something that I made from scratch, something that I thought of and I created it, and now it's on your body and you're wearing it. Anytime anyone wears Epiphany for a special moment, like someone I know wore it for her engagement when she was proposed to. I was like, what? Like, anytime you bring us into your special moments, your birthdays, weddings, engagement, it's just so like, wow, you thought of wearing Epiphany to celebrate this occasion. That makes me so proud. Yeah. Wow, this hair is eating. Yeah, and I'm taking all of this beauty to the house to wash it off and just enter my bed and wear my bonnet. What a shame. What a big shame.
So with Epiphany,
Yeah.
we see a lot of trends, a lot of designs and everything coming up.
Yeah.
Do you feel the pressure to conform to these trends?
Not really, because it's kind of just like we know our vision and we know it very well. For example, like a lot of clean girl outfits have been on trend for a while. So like the beige, the nudes, you know what I mean, like old money aesthetic has been a thing for a while. And I've never felt the need to create anything like that for Epiphany. That's actually my personal style. That's what I like as Sharon. But I know it doesn't align with Epiphany. Like we are colorful, we are vibrant, we are feminine. We're not old money, we're not nude, we're not any of those things. So I think if the trend aligns with our vision, then yeah, why not? But if it doesn't, then it's just not for us and we just keep it moving.
Would you attribute your community, especially at Epiphany, that community has been generated from the fact that you do content and you are able to create an authentic community that would actually come and patronize you?
Yeah, I think so for sure. I think my my honeys on my page definitely have been big supporters of Epiphany. But I don't think that our entire Epiphany community is built off of my personal page community. Yeah, I also do recognize that I have privilege for being an entrepreneur with some sort of head start, meaning that I already have a following, so people are more likely to look at what I create and what business I come up with. But yeah, it's definitely given me some advantages, but it doesn't always help. Like when I go to Isili to source fabric, who even knows who Sharon Mwangi is in Isili? When I'm bargaining with the Somalis and just piganaing with people over there, no one cares who I am. You know what I mean? Like they don't even know who I am. I'm just a customer. When I'm dealing with tailors, with whoever, they don't care. They're just there to do their job. So I don't think it's 100% made Epiphany successful, but it's definitely helped. Yeah.
Have you ever made a design that you didn't put out?
Oh yeah, for sure. Many. They're just seated in my wardrobe. Sometimes I give them away or I'll sell them in a closet sale or something. But yeah,
What was
we've had
one of
many.
the reasons you'd put something, you'd not put out something rather?
Probably I didn't like the fabric or I didn't like the design or the design didn't come out the way I envisioned it in my head. You know, sometimes also that happens. Like when you put an outfit together in your mind and then you put it on and it's like, you're like, what's this? This is crazy. Same thing with design. Sometimes you can even draw the sketch. You buy the fabric, you think, okay, it's gonna be great, and then you actually put it on a machine and you sew it and it's crazy. So yeah, probably that's what had happened. Yeah.
So how important is modesty when it comes to designing your
Our
collections?
clothes. Modesty is definitely important. I keep saying you will not find any club outfits at Epiphany. Unfortunately, sorry, girls, we're just not the ones for you. It's important because even me personally, my style has evolved over the years, and my style somehow influences Epiphany, not fully, but it does have a part to play. So modesty is definitely always key. For us, you won't find like your boobs and your legs out at the same time. Usually we pick one. Like if it's your legs, then your boobs are not that out. If it's your boobs, then your legs are a bit covered. But in a fun way, because modesty doesn't need to be boring.
Yeah.
I think when people think modesty, they think that dresses reaching your ankles. And even if you're showing your ankles, how dare you show us your ankles? So yeah, modesty, but in a fun, chic way. Yeah.
What's the one hard truth you'd say, you'd tell someone about
Yeah.
business?
Oh, first of all, I think entrepreneurship is not for everyone. If you have a thriving 9 to 5 and you're climbing up the corporate ladder and it's working for you and you don't hate corporate life, stay there. Personally, like I grew up in an environment where my dad is a corporate guy. He's always had a 9 to 5. My mom is a business woman. She's been a serial entrepreneur. She's run multiple businesses. And I've always seen if my dad ever tried to be an entrepreneur, it just never works out. And we know his area of strength is just in the corporate sector. So I think one, entrepreneurship is not for everyone. Two, it's definitely glamorized. It's just as hard as the corporate sector. And if anything, our income is very inconsistent. Like with corporate, at least you're getting a check every month. But I think what now makes people a bit complacent. With entrepreneurship, if I'm not selling, I'm not eating. Like this month, my rent is not being paid. I'm not putting food on my table. So it kind of pushes you more. So hard truth, I think those two are already hard truths, but I can add another hard truth. Another hard truth would be, what would I say? If you don't put the right structures in place from early on, I don't think your business will last long. And there's a reason why the stats say that a lot of businesses fail in the first 5 years. I get that. Like when year 4, and I've had multiple times where I've wanted to close the business. Like even last week, I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, okay, God, this was fun. I'm done. You know what I mean? And I may change my mind and I might not be done this week. Maybe next week I'll be back to being done. But I think a lesson that I have learned the hard way is put structures in place as early on as you can. I understand when you start, it's not easy to do, but the earlier you put structures in place, the better. And always put yourself in positions to learn and learn from other people's mistakes so you don't have to repeat the same for yourself. Yeah.
What are some of these structures that would you tell someone, especially
Yeah.
on the early
Early.
onset,
Yeah.
that someone should actually be keen on?
Yeah. So if you have employees, there needs to be some sort of way that the business runs and they understand how the business runs. Like some sort of company policy or some sort of structure that they know. I'm trying to not use the word structure to answer the question. But like they know company policies, do's and don'ts. They know what time they need to get to work, what time they leave, how payments are made, how clients are treated, how clients are spoken to, blah, blah, like all of those things are still structure. When it comes to hiring as well, like you as an entrepreneur, CEO, founder, you need to figure out how you are going to hire, what's important for you when it comes to hiring. I think when you hire well or you hire badly, that can determine how your business will go. So praying for you guys to hire well, so you don't lose money, you don't lose time and all of that. Also just like having a proper vision in place, because the structures come from the vision. So if you don't have a vision, then it's hard to even put structures in place. So if the vision for the business, for example, like a fashion business, is to open a store in 2 years, let's say you've just opened and you're like, okay, in 2 years I want a physical store. What structures can you put in place to make sure that in 2 years I get to my goal? So am I then saying that right now I'm going to cut down on how many employees I can have so that I can save more money towards the store? Or, you know what I mean? Like, those are just questions to ask yourself. And in terms of putting structures in place. Also, like the money bit of things, I think is where I've had some struggles with. And I think it's because I didn't put myself in positions to learn about the money. Like, I knew the business was generating revenue, but I wasn't actually, actually monitoring the finances the way I should have been monitoring them from the get-go. I've only started doing that recently. So, yeah.
So you mentioned that earlier in your career, you experienced depression.
Yeah.
How did you hold space for yourself during that time?
Yeah. So my first episode of depression actually happened while I was still in uni. So I didn't necessarily have to, show up anywhere. I just had to attend class, which I did not, obviously. When you're depressed, you can't even getting out of bed is a struggle. So I mostly just sat in my house and did nothing, and obviously failed. That semester, I had really bad grades, but it was my last semester, so at least my other semesters' grades carried me, and I was able to graduate with a good GPA. So then the second one now came when I was in my 9 to 5 at the time. I wasn't running the business yet. I just had the 9 to 5 that, of course, I had to show up for every day, because otherwise you'll get fired. Why aren't you showing up every day? That was hard. Like, I used to wake up and I'm like, I can't believe I have to leave my house and leave my bed and take like 3 matatus to get to work. I hated. It was so tough. It was a really tough time. How did I hold space for myself? I think back then, there was no even terminologies about holding space for yourself. Like, there was no such thing. I think right now we've been gifted with knowledge, we've been gifted with information, we've been gifted with the ability to even understand what depression looks like and what are the symptoms and how can I hold space for myself, how can I even support someone who's going through mental health struggles. So at the time, I just survived, to be honest. The first time, I had friends, they supported me. Same thing with the second time. But honestly, I just fought this battle alone. First time and second time, and there was no even holding space. I just did what I could do. If I can't get out of bed today, then I can't get out of bed. If I can, then I can, and yay, we have one good day, and then we'll see what tomorrow brings. Yeah.
Did you share this with your parents?
So I did a YouTube video when I felt like I was coming out of the darkness and seeing a bit of light. This is obviously after Christ. And I shared my experience, and my parents watch it. By the way, my parents are the most supportive parents on earth. So they watched it, and that's how they found out. And obviously, especially my dad, he was really sad, and he was like, I didn't know this is what you are struggling with. Like, how can we best support you? What can we do? Yeah. My mom didn't really understand it. I think she couldn't, I think she couldn't tell. I think I was good at masking. I was very good at hiding. So unless you saw me at work every day, then maybe you would have picked up on something. But even at work, unless you were my friend, you couldn't tell. I would just go to work every day. I would come home late. My parents wouldn't see me because they'd be asleep. During weekends, I'd just like lock myself in the bedroom and I'd just like, they wouldn't see me. And during the first episode, I was in school. I used to live in school. So my parents didn't see me going through that. I would only have to go home during weekends, and I didn't even go every weekend. So I was good at hiding it. I was good at masking it. So yeah, they didn't have the full, like a front row seat at it. Yeah.
Okay. So, was it around this time that you decided to give your life to Christ?
Yeah, definitely. It wasn't even a decision I made. It was God just came and took me. What I did is that there's once I came home. I've said this story many times. There's once I came home from work and I was, struggling at work. I had a boss that liked me sometimes, hated me some other times, so it was hard to tell with her. I had moments, obviously, because I'm like a functional, I have functional depression. I'm showing up and I can do some tasks, but will I do them with excellence? Probably not. And I'm not saying that I'm excusing that for bad work, but yeah, that's what was happening. And I think it's valid. So, there are times like, she would really, not be the kindest to me, and I would go and cry in the toilet, and then I go back to my desk and just sit. So yeah, there's a day I came home, really disliking my job, going through a breakup, and then I'm watching this person who I've broken up with, like move on and post his new person, and I was just like, God, what am I doing with my life? And the depression just like came, all the feelings just came back. That and amongst many other things that I had been struggling with for many years. So I think those things just amplified all the other struggles I had and that had led me to depression. So I just went home to my parents' house. I was still living with them. I got down on the floor in my bedroom and I just started crying. And I was just crying to God and I was weeping. And I was just telling God, God, if you exist, if you're out there somewhere and you're listening to me, I need you to help me. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I don't know where my life is headed, and I'm tired of feeling sad. I'm tired of hating my life. I'm tired of waking up every day and hating being alive. So I just need you to help me. So I just cried. I cried on the floor. And I can't say that I saw a bright white light or I saw Jesus on a cloud or anything like that. But when I stood up from the floor, I felt instantly lighter. Because that was my prayer. Just make this thing lighter. It feels too heavy for me to carry. And I felt lighter. And I felt loved and I felt embraced. I felt comforted for some reason. I just had like a moment where I was just like, wow, something has shifted within me. And yeah, that's how I then now surrendered to God and I told him, okay, God, you're real. Clearly you exist. And just like have my life. So I didn't give my life to Christ at an altar during an altar call in church when they say, and I'm not saying that doesn't work for people, like that's a genuine thing. But for me, there was no pastor who led me, there was nothing, there was no altar call. It was just on my bedroom floor, just me and God, just crying to him and just asking for help. And I was like, okay, God, have your way in my life and just help me do this life thing. And yeah, so I gave my life to Christ then. 8 years now, still going. And I hope to endure till the end, till when I die, because there's life after death. So, yeah.
Maureen, so your podcast. What made you decide to venture into podcasting?
it wasn't a decision I made. I was kind of strong-armed into doing it by Jesus. So I remember there's someone who asked me, oh, Sharon, would you ever want to have a podcast? Because at the time she was asking me, a lot of people had started podcasts. And it was kind of like the in thing. And I was like, ew. No, never. Why would I want to do something that everyone is doing? And then shortly after, the way God works, he's so funny. I just started feeling like a desire, not even a desire. Let me not lie, I never desired it. Just a nudge, like a nudge in my spirit, in my soul, for just like you need to start a podcast, you need to start a podcast. And let me tell you, when the Holy Spirit convicts you, he's so relentless. Like if he needs to send a donkey to tell you, he'll send a donkey to tell you. Like literally, like he'll send a talking donkey to tell you. So it was just there. It wasn't going away. It wasn't going away. It was just, that thought never went away. It was just like, you need to start a podcast, you need to start a podcast. I was like, okay, fine. I've heard you. Let me pray about it. So I prayed about it. So even now, he was sending people to come and confirm to me. So people are telling me, yeah, Sharon, you need to start a podcast and this is what it's going to do. This is what it's going to do for God's people, blah, blah, all of these things. So I just decided to follow obediently, very scary. I didn't know what I was doing. The podcast space was also very green when I started. I think there'd only been a couple of podcasts that had already gone ahead of me. And then I did it my way for a long time because, I'm type A, I'm a firstborn, I have control issues. So I did it my way for a long time. A couple of seasons was just me relying on my own wisdom, my own strength, the way that I think, God, if we do this, I think people will really like this. And then at some point I was just like, okay, God, yeah, okay, fine. You're the one who put this vision within me. It's time to do it your way. And yeah, so as of last year, we became a faith-based podcast fully. Before we were dabbling here and there, a sprinkle of God here and there. But now we are fully, our identity is that we are a faith-based podcast. So 2 years in, is it 2 years? No, 2023. Yeah, 2023, 2 years in. So, yeah.
And how has been the journey?
So far, the first year and a half, even, let's say year and a half. Actually, no, the first year was, again, me doing it out of my own strength. I feel like I've done this thing more than 2 years. It feels like 3 years. Maybe I have the math wrong. I'm not sure. Could be 3 years. In the beginning, I was doing it out of my own strength. It was actually, it's been up and down. We have some seasons, some episodes that perform really well, lots of views, lot of engagement, lot of feedback. And then other times, we're getting views, yeah, but like, I look at it and I'm like, hey, God, Kwani, what's going on? Am I just here to talk to myself? But then God has really convicted me of that. And I think ever since we even became faith-based, my focus has gone from views and likes and applause and awards and being top 10 podcasts in Kenya to impact. Like, that's just my thing. Am I impacting someone with the episodes that we drop? Like, when you listen or you watch, is there at least 1 or 2 people who leave that video or that audio feeling like, wow, okay, I've learned something new, or I need to make some changes in my life, or let me go back to church. Let me forgive that person that I need to forgive. Maybe I need to handle my money better. Maybe I need to be kinder to people. Maybe that person that I shouted at earlier today, maybe I need to go apologize. So that's just impact for me, and I know my reward is not here. Even if we were to win an award, if we were to, get whatever applause from men, I know my reward is in heaven. And even if we don't receive a reward in heaven, that's fine. But I know for me, it's just like, when I do go to heaven, it's just like, okay, God, you gave me this platform, you gave me this opportunity. Are you pleased? Like, all I'm praying for is, well done, like good and faithful servant, you did well. So that's just that's where I stand with the podcast.
Was it hard for you to, in the beginning? Because a lot of people, especially people in public, refrain from a lot of spirituality matters. Was it easier for you or?
It was hard for sure. Because religion is a touchy subject. But so I've had twofold, right? So one aspect is I sometimes felt like an imposter talking about God because I'm a sinner, right? And don't ever hold me to any standard of anything because I will fail. And I am bound to fail because at the core of who we are as human beings is that we're sinners. We're just saved by grace. So I do my best, but I'm surviving on the grace of God. So sometimes I would feel like an imposter because I know what I did last night. And then now today I come on my Instagram, I start telling you about God. Or I come on my podcast and I start telling you about God. And God has always just been like, yeah, I want to use you like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't desire perfection from you because you'll start to think that it's out of your own wisdom that you're doing this. But I want to use you as you are. And even if you look at the Bible, God has used prostitutes. He has used murderers. Like Moses was a murderer. He killed someone. Like he's used, so was Paul. When he was Saul, he killed so many people in the name of Christ, if anything even. So I've just been pushing past that desire of perfection to think that I need to be perfect to speak about God. And God has been definitely sanctifying me and trying to make me more and more righteous. So that's one fold. So I would refrain sometimes. I would shy away from talking about God because I'm just like, who am I to even tell anyone about God, me, the sinner that I am? And then now I have other times where I'm just like, I don't care if I'm a sinner. If anything, people need to be hearing from a sinner who has been saved versus someone who is perfect and someone who has it all together. But with that being said, I don't think that it's an excuse to just be complacent and just be like, God will use me anyways. No. Yeah.
Have you ever missed brand collaboration because of the path you've chosen?
So we haven't done that many collaborations with brands on our podcast, but on my personal page, I've definitely lost out on some brands and some campaigns just because I won't talk about certain products. For example, like I don't advertise alcohol brands because I generally am not a fan of alcohol. Yeah, I just don't like how it tastes. Not anymore, at least. Obviously, in my younger years, I really enjoyed a little drink. So I've definitely, and if you're in the content creation space, you know that the alcohol brands have a lot of money because it's consumed a lot. So they do have some money to put behind marketing. So I've lost out on that. I also don't promote like sexual things as well. So, there are businesses like if you're, for example, like a condom brand or something like that, I just won't work with you. It goes against my values. To be telling people to, obviously in the context of marriage, go off, enjoy. So obviously I've definitely lost out on brands that my values don't align with. But yeah, I've even had brands telling me, oh, you don't have to drink the alcohol, just like create the content, you just a sip, whatever. And it's been good money and I've had to say, no, sorry, like I just can't. Like, even if, like, a sip or two, fine, won't do anything much for me, but it's still just like, what am I actually putting out there? So yeah, it just goes against my values, so I won't do it.
Has your walk of faith cost you friendship and relationships as well?
Friendships, not really. I think the only friends, like, we're not close anymore, some of my uni friends and some of my friends after uni, but they were mostly like friends I used to bash with. So just when I stopped bashing as much and stop being in the club as much. We kind of just drifted. There's no bad blood, there's no beef, there's nothing. It's just like, okay, we're just not aligned anymore. And some of them, it's not even the bashing thing. Some of them, it's just we're not in the same school anymore, so we don't see each other every day. So because of that, because we're not seeing each other every day, we kind of just lose touch. But God has really blessed me with a very solid circle of friends. So I still have some of my uni friends that, you know, we're growing together, we're evolving. Actually, I have a lot of my friends are from high school. I've had the same friends from high school. I have some from uni. I have some that I've made in my adulthood. And then I think we're kind of evolving together. So we're kind of all figuring out this God thing together. So we're, you know, we go to church together, you know, we do Bible study together, we hold each other accountable. So yeah, God has really blessed me in that department. In terms of relationships, definitely, definitely lost a couple along the way because of my beliefs. So yeah, I think it's just part of the process. It's just like what happens. Yeah, I think for 8 years, you're definitely bound to lose some relationships, some friendships, just part of life. Yeah.
So what's next for Epiphany, for you as Sharon, and all the things you handle?
Okay, so for Epiphany, honestly, right now, I don't know where I stand. But maybe it's just like the usual frustrations for, you know, being an entrepreneur. So I can't say what's next. Right now, we're just we're figuring it out, okay? For the podcast, obviously, definitely looking to make a lot more impact, to cross the borders of Kenya. I think there are a lot more people who need to be reached and a lot of more people who will gain something from what we're talking about. But then again, that's also just, you know, we're also just being led by God wherever he leads us. If he says we go to Somalia, we go to Somalia. Wherever he says we go, we go. Yeah, and obviously like more growth, more expansion. We also have a live experience happening soon on the 26th of July. So we're hoping, you know, to have more live experiences, more opportunities where people come and experience God and God's word, you know, in person. So, venye nimesema hivyo, I'm just like, do I really want to do that? Because even planning one, right now, I'm just like, the way one is so much work, do I have capacity for another one this year? I don't know. But for this year, we have one coming. And in the next couple of years, we'll definitely keep having more and more. For Sharon, personally, I am looking to take a break in the near future. I'm actually working towards taking a break.
From content creation?
Yeah, just like a sabbatical. You know how people take sabbaticals from work? Or like a paid leave or an unpaid leave. Just 6 months, 3 months. I really want to take one of those. You know, I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been doing this since I was a third year uni student. So I just want to take a small break, just uninstall all my social media apps for a bit, just go breathe, touch grass, probably travel, go somewhere, you know, just experience life outside of social media for a while. Definitely looking to get married, you know, have some babies, hopefully, God willing.
Is there someone?
No.
But someone's coming.
Amen, sister. Someone is coming. Yeah, and just like keep living life and keep enjoying myself. And, you know, we're not on earth forever. So while I'm here, just live life to the fullest and do everything that I can possibly do on this side of earth. I want to die empty. You know what I mean? Like there's this thing, this concept of dying empty where when you go to heaven, and for example, we don't know if this actually happens in heaven. If, for example, like there's a screen and God shows you like what your life would have looked like if you did everything you were supposed to do. I want to die doing as much as I can do, die empty. Like I don't want to die while still having hopes and desires and dreams and goals and all of these things. So I want to do as much and die as empty as I could possibly, die.
What would you tell 10-year-old Sharon?
10-year-old. Oh, sweet girl. Oh, this is something I struggle with. We are trying to work through some childhood stuff in therapy. That's why I hesitated with the question earlier. So 10-year-old me, I would just want to tell her that she's loved. I think she struggled sometimes with knowing that she was loved. So I would want to tell her that she's loved, that she's valued, that there are people who care for her. Yeah, just that. You know, sometimes kids just want to know that they're loved. And sometimes not all kids feel like that. So I think that's what I would tell her, that she's loved and people care for her and value her life.
What do you think about the hair?
I love it so much, honestly. I'm just so sad that I'm going to my house.
Let
Like,
me
you know what I mean? And
let
all
me
my
remove it so that you
friends.
can see it.
Oh my gosh, stop. It's so cute. So cute. And all my friends are just like homebodies like me. So I can't even have to say, I'm going to call a friend. My friends are in their pajamas in their beds right now. That's the problem. So yeah, I love it so much.
You
Like,
look
I've
really,
always
really
loved
good.
straight hair so much. So I think this is just like screaming Sharon.
The length?
The length is perfect. The clean girl is perfect. I love it so much. Yeah, I need to come back now when I have somewhere to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. You look really, really lovely.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so much for
much.
coming to my seat.
I love it so much. The quality, like it's like butter, like so soft. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I wish you all the best in everything
Thank
that
you
you're
so
doing and
much.
everything that you want to do. And may God guide you.
Thank you. You too. I wish you all the best. You've built an amazing brand. What you're
Thank
doing,
you.
even with this show, is amazing as well.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi.
Are you ready for another set of questions?
Yes.
Okay. Which emoji is to you?
Oh, so me. I think the laughing emoji. It's my most used emoji, to be honest.
The one with tears?
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
What humbles you without fail?
Humbles me.
Yeah.
Driving. Driving. Guys, I'm still scared. Everyone that said that I won't be scared 2, 3, 4 months into it lied. It's very humbling for me to get in my car every day and drive. Very humbling.
What's a scent that reminds you of home?
A scent that reminds me of home. Um, I'll say a perfume, not necessarily like a scent of everything else. But my mom, for the longest time, her signature scent was Elizabeth Arden Red Door. And she's worn that since I was in high school. So anytime I smell it anywhere, I'm just like, that reminds me of home because it reminds me of my mom.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
If your life was a movie, what genre will it be?
Comedy. Hey. Because sometimes I'm like, what's going on, God? Like, hey, nini kunaendelea up in here? Yeah, comedy, because there's also like joy. There's also some very good times, some very happy times, and some other times where you just can't help but laugh because you're like, what's actually going on right now?
Interesting. What odd skill do you wish you'd master?
An odd skill that I
Yes.
wish I'd master. So random, but I wish I could. It's not an odd skill, it's just a skill. I wish I could play some sort of sport, just some sort of athletic something. I can't run, I can't play football, I can't play tennis, I can't play like nothing. Like, I have no single athletic bone in my body, and I don't know why. Like, I know I'm more creative, but I wish I could at least even throw a ball at something. Yeah.
Last song you played on repeat?
Oh, last song I played on repeat. Oh my gosh. So there's this song that's currently trending. I don't know if it'll still be trending by the time you watch this, but it's called No Turning Back. It's a gospel song, obviously. Well, not obviously, but yeah, obviously. And it's Nigerian, and it's just so catchy. The beats are catchy, the words are catchy. Like, I think in one day, I played it like 10 times, and they were like, okay, Spotify was like, enough. Yeah.
Enough. A Kenyan phrase you overuse?
Kenyan phrase that I overuse. Mm. Oh, I don't know if I have a specific one. I don't know if it's actually not a Kenyan phrase. But I really love like TID and all the TikTok sounds that come from TID. I know he's Tanzanian, but he's like should have been Kenyan, right? So any sound of TID, I keep saying that all the time. Like even the one for nani huyu, like when like the border passed in front of him in the interview, I'm always like nani huyu, like even when I'm driving, I'm like nani huyu, like yeah, I say that like all the time.
That's such a good one.
Yeah.
What's the last thing you Googled?
Oh, let's check, because I have no idea. What's the last thing I Googled? Oh, I Googled like the exchange rate between pound to Kenya shillings because I was trying to order something online. That's what I searched. Nothing interesting.
But it actually does make sense. A wild assumption that people have about you.
A wild assumption that I'm tall. Hey, guys, I'm 5'1". Hata hiyo 1 ni kuongeza nimeongeza. Sometimes I'm 5'1", sometimes I'm 5'0". Depends on the day, but anytime people meet me, they're like, oh my God, you're so small, you're so short, you're so tiny. I'm like, yeah, Instagram is a lie. And I'm not saying that only about height. Generally, there's a lot of lies on Instagram.
Last thing you do before you go to sleep.
I would like to say pray. I pray before I sleep. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's laughing on TikTok. Sometimes I fall asleep with my phone in my hand. So not great.
What's your current read?
Oh, the Bible, because I can't remember the last time I read a book, guys. Honestly, like, as much as I love TikTok, it's ruined my attention span. So I'm struggling to read books, but I try to read the Bible as often as I can. I still struggle with that, but doing my best.
Now that we're talking about the Bible, who's your favorite Bible character?
I have many. The expected answer would be Jesus, obviously, because shout out to Jesus, we love Jesus. But currently it's David, because we're reading about him in Bible study. He's a very interesting character, and not in the way people perceive him. Like when you actually read about him, you're like, hey, David alikuwa na tu some things in there. So yeah, currently David.
What's your emotional support snack?
Oh, I love a good snack. I don't know if people know this, but like there's this snack, it's called crackies. I'm like, that's crack. Like, it's like crack. It tastes good, but also the crunchiness somehow gives me comfort. Like when the sound of the crunch, I don't know if it's like an ASMR thing. Like I can eat a packet and I've not tasted anything. Like me, I'm just eating for the crunch, for the feeling, the comfort that I get from it. But yeah, crackies are crack.
Interesting. You're on a reality show called Surviving Nairobi.
Okay.
What's your cheat code?
That's not even a reality show, it's real life. I'm currently surviving Nairobi. Oh, again, corny answer, cheat code is just to do it with God. By the way, me, you know, I always tell people, I don't know how people are surviving Nairobi, Kenya, with everything that goes on without God. I don't know how you guys are doing it. You know, you switch on the news, you see people being killed, you see things happening, you see abductions, you see whatever. I don't know how. You know, the state of the economy, the way we are struggling financially, I don't know how anyone is doing it without God, without prayer, without some sort of guidance from heaven. Yeah.
Which item in your house secretly controls you?
Oh, my phone. It's not a secret. And I don't know if it's an item in my house, but I'm glued to my phone. I'm stuck to my phone. It's unhealthy, I know. But it's been worse. We're actually improving. Hata mali tumefika. Imagine this is improvement.
Good job.
Yeah.
Epiphany clothing Africa in 2 words.
Oh, feminine and fun.
Beautiful. 1 word to describe your current mood.
My current?
Mood. One
My
word to describe it.
current mood. Hungry. Can't wait to go home and eat. Yeah.
Your biggest pet peeve.
Oh, my biggest pet peeve. I really dislike two-faced people. I think for me, it's just like, if you don't like me, just show me. Like, don't be one way in front of me and then another way on the other side. Like, for me, if I don't like you, just know I don't like you. So I think that's really a pet peeve for me.
A secret talent you have?
A secret talent I have. I don't know if I have talent, guys. But when I was younger, when I was a child, I sang a lot, and people used to say that I can sing. I don't know if I still can sing, I hope so. And I used to dance a lot. So I really loved music as a child. I still love music. So I could sing, I could dance. I was in a dance group once upon a time in high school. So yeah, I can sing, I can dance. I haven't practiced the talent recently, but I hope it's still there.
Can you like pull a move?
Oh, girl.
Finish this sentence. Sharon K. Mwangi is...
Sharon K. Mwangi is funny. That's another thing people don't know about me, and you guys are sleeping on me and my potential comedy career. Sharon K. Mwangi is funny, is loving, is kind, is what else? I think those things, those three things, I think I would say. And passionate, yeah. I would say loving, funny, kind, passionate.
And so we've come to the end of our quick fire
Yay.
questions. Yay! So thank you so much for coming, and bye.
Bye.
Mwah.